Hello, fellow YouTubers. LEGO WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering the SDCC Transformers reveals. Most of them, I'm just going to skip over the crossover stuff because it's not really relevant to this channel generally. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I'm just trying to commit to the one video a week thing. And there hasn't been anything else revealed this week, so hopefully I'll be good for a little bit. As always, we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I'm going to start things off with these Energon variants of some figures. This is a Walmart exclusive line. These look cool visually, but obviously I don't trust figures that are mostly translucent plastic, so I won't be getting these. We have Cybertronic and Cybertread, and these are based on Slammer and Six Gun. They're kind of neat looking, I guess. Then we got those also for Optimus and Megatron. These are based on the Siege molds, although the Megatron, I think, is specifically based on the IDW Minor version of the Siege mold, but I'm not completely sure about that. These are a little better, but still not for me. Then we had the fan channel activate your alt mode Shockwave, and this one turns into a whale, which if you read the Skybound comics, you know this is quite an ironic alt mode for Shockwave. But I'm all for this type of thing. It's very unique, it's mixing things up, and I think Transformers really needs to be doing that a lot more nowadays, so I'm all for the concept. I don't know if I'm going to get this figure, but this render of him looks pretty cool, not going to lie. Then we had this 30th anniversary Maximals pack. We already got one for the Predacon, so now we have this one. And as far as I know, these are straight re-releases of the Japanese variants of some of the Kingdom figures, or Beast Wars again. I can't remember what that line was called. You know, these are just the Kingdom molds repainted to look a little more accurate to the original Beast Wars series. I don't know if I'm going to get this, because the Kingdom figures for the most part didn't look bad at all, but these do look better. Just the few changes made to make them look more like how they did in the original series. It's tempting. I'm going to try to resist it though, because I do already have almost all these figures. I got rid of the Rhinox because that figure sucked, but otherwise I got the rest of the figures in this set. So I don't know if I'm going to get this. It's tempting though. Then we have some limbs for Nexus Prime, and there's definitely a lot of controversy in the community over this because people just wish it was done a little differently. So we have Breakaway here. This is just a retool of the Age of the Primes Air Raid and Skydive. I think it's specifically based on the Air Raid version of the mold though, and it looks fine. The color scheme matches up with Nexus Prime well enough. The head sculpt is okay. Kind of makes me think of Boomerang from Spider-Man. I'm kind of on a Spider-Man kick because I just saw Brand New Day. Amazing movie, as a side note. I really loved it. But back to the matter at hand. Yeah, this figure just looks okay. There's the jet mode. This is the weaker of the deluxe aerial bots from Age of the Primes, in my opinion. So, yeah, the jet mode, it's okay. It's just not the greatest. Then we have Skyguard. This one definitely looks a little more interesting. This is a retool of the Blastoff. And I like the head. It's a little more unique looking. We have a few mono-eyed Transformers, but still, it's an unconventional design feature. So I appreciate things like this. We got the Space Shuttle mode. That is a lot of red on that thing. A pretty loud shade of red. I don't know. They probably could have thrown some more blue in there to kind of break it up. Then there we had them attached to the Superion frame, but with Nexus Prime at the center. And we still don't know for sure if they're going to do a frame for Nexus Prime, but I'm feeling pretty confident that what they're going to do is make a G2 set of the Superions. The aerial bots, specifically Silverbolt, since that color scheme is basically the same thing as this Nexus Prime. and that's going to kind of double as the frame for Nexus Prime, which is a bummer, but I'm feeling pretty confident that's what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to get these. They don't look bad. The thing is, we just recently saw images of this kit by QQT. It's a 3D printed set, and it has the different parts for Nexus Prime to make the full form, like the full combined form. Now, the limb bots don't have individual robot modes, but they do have individual vehicle modes, and that's the main thing I care about. Only thing I'm concerned about is that it is 3D printed, so I'd be a little worried about how well this thing would last over time. So, I don't know. I might still get the limbs that Hasbro is releasing, but I am kind of tempted to go in this direction. We'll have to see, though. Maybe DNA Design will make an upgrade kit. That'd be nice. Then here we have this Icons Megatron. This is just whatever. It's nice that they made him because they did an Optimus that turns into the Autobot symbol. This figure looks fine. I just don't have anything to say about it because it's not my thing. And here we have Alpha Bravo. This is a repainted the Age of the Primes Vortex with a new head. It's a similar head design, but there are some differences on it. And this figure looks kind of cool. I'm all for them representing new characters that were introduced in previous toy lines. And hey, I'm all for replacing Slingshot on the aerial bots. So that's pretty cool. And adding a helicopter to the team, just kind of keeping with the aerial theme, but still having a different type of alt mode. I just think it's kind of cool. And I like the color scheme, the blue, the orange, and the white. If you look at the helicopter mode here, it really reminds me of Revenge of the Fallen, I think, was the line that had a figure called Evac that turned into a rescue helicopter. I don't know, this alt mode just kind of makes me think of that. I'm not saying I'm definitely going to get this, but it's kind of cool. It's a neat reference. I wonder if they're going to do more references to Combiner Wars. That'd be crazy if they did use the Age of the Prime Slingshot to make a new Blast-Off figure, because I know people really hated that back in the day. But it would just be kind of a funny reference. And I am in the camp that thinks that I don't hate Blast-Off being a shuttle, but just being a jet would fit in a lot better with the other Combaticons. And here we have G2 Wild Rider with his very loud 90s colors. It's cool to see them doing more of the G2 Stunticons, but thing is, this mold, I have 2 of it now. The mold isn't as bad as I initially thought it was going to be, but it's still not a good mold, and I don't want to have any more of it than what's necessary to make Menasor. And then here we have him in his alt mode with a very loud G2 Decepticon insignia. It's a nice alt mode. That's definitely the better part of this particular mold. The main thing I'm excited about, though, is them doing a G2 Motormaster, so I can just finally have a fairly affordable Motormaster for the collection, because I have all the other Stunticons, just missing Motormaster to actually make the frame for Menasor. I'd obviously prefer his traditional color scheme, but I just don't know if that's happening anytime soon, and the first Legacy release is way too expensive for me to get. So hopefully that happens soon. All right, now we have a re-release of the 86 Swoop, which is nice. They've been re-releasing the other 86 Dinobots, so people who've just missed out on any of these should have gotten a good chance to get these figures now. And that makes me think now I can go ahead and review this figure, because I reviewed Snarl not too long ago since he got reissued recently. And I was wanting to review Swoop, but I also felt kind of iffy about it because he's not currently available, but he came out recently, but he still isn't on any like the main websites to purchase. And I don't know how expensive he is on eBay and stuff like that, so I just didn't feel right about reviewing him yet. But now that he's getting reissued, I might as well go in and do it and close the book on the 86 Dinobots. Then we also have a re-release of the Earthrise Allicon. I might go ahead and get this just to add on more to my 86 display. I never got the Earthrise figure, never saw him in stores. So, it would be kind of cool. And there we have a look at the actual figure. Nothing, I don't think there have been any changes made. I hope they re-release the Earthrise Quintesson also, because that's a figure I was never able to find either. Then here we have a leader class Megatron from the last night. Robot mode looks pretty good. Jet mode looks good. And then he kind of, sort of, but not really has a third dragon alt mode. I'm glad that they're finally making this design as a figure. But for some reason, a lot of people really love this design. But for whatever reason, it just never really clicked with me. I couldn't tell you why, because when I look at it, it's got similarities to the Prime Megatron design. And I love that design. But for some reason, this one just never really did it for me. I have no idea why. So probably won't be getting this figure. But he looks pretty good. Then here we have 86 Wheelie, who, unsurprisingly, is a repaint and slight retool of the retro one. And here's the actual figure. It does look really nice. This definitely does look like how Wheelie looked in the movie. I'm not sure if I'm going to get him, though, because I already had the 86 core class one. And while I was kind of underwhelmed by that figure, I think this one does look better. It's Wheelie. I don't care about having like the definitive Wheelie figure. Then here we have the Transformers 1 Shockwave. And this one, all I can think is that if they continue to do stuff based on the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games, which it sounds like those are still on the table, even though it's been kind of quiet in that department recently. But I think if they do touch on that, this figure could be a pre-tool for that Shockwave, because that alt mode really looks like Fall of Cybertron Shockwave, and so does the robot mode. This does look like a good figure. Again, I'm kind of out on the Transformers 1 figures. Despite the great movie, the figures are just not... It's been very hit or miss. I haven't been crazy about a lot of them. Take a look at the figure here, though. I do like the colors. It looks like a good Shockwave. On top of that, though, I just really did not like Transformers 1 Shockwave. He was just... It's not how Shockwave is supposed to be. So, yeah, probably won't be getting this figure. But if they make a Fall of Cybertron retool of this, I'll definitely get that. Then here we have Red Alert getting kind of a taste of what they're doing with the studio series now, including stuff from the TV shows. And this looks like a really good Red Alert. It's nice to see them move on from the Siege Sideswipe mold. I like that the vehicle mode has a spoiler now. Robot mode looks really good. That's a spitting image of the cartoon model. But again, I just don't know if I have enough issues with the Siege mold to upgrade to this, because it basically gets the job done as Red Alert. So I'll just say what I always do. Never say never, but as of right now, I'm not completely sure if I'm going to get this. Now here you have Nautica. 100% I'm going to get this because I love the IDW designs. I think Nautica really needs a new figure because her previous figure was in Titan's Return, and that was in a Amazon, or was it Toys R Us exclusive set? I think it was Amazon. And it was just a retool of the Titan's Return Blur. It didn't really look that good. Didn't look that much like Nautica, and it's super expensive now. So it's nice to see her get a brand new mold, going to be more accessible, really good looking mold. The alt mode looks nice. And we can't see it in the images, but I think she is. We saw in the description that she is going to come with her wrench. So 100% I am going to get this because this looks awesome. And here we have Age of Extinction Scorn. I think this is really cool, representing the newest Dinobot that was introduced in that movie. It's got a very unique robot mode. I like how the tail is... I'm not sure if the tail is like part of the arm or just a weapon. I think the Spinosaurus mode is cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this because I'm not really that invested in the Age of Extinction Dinobots, but it looks pretty cool, and I'm just happy they're making more of them because previously they were doing that thing that I hate where they just make Grimlock and stop. The thing I always say is, what's the point of having the leader, just the leader, with no one for him to lead? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm glad they're continuing it. Then here we have the Seeker Storm Pack, and we've known about this for a couple weeks now. This is a made-to-order set, which I'm not too keen on that practice. I feel like these should have just been, if they didn't want to make these mass retail releases, okay, whatever, I'd be a little more okay with that because these are more niche. Not everyone is going to want these. But making it so it's only a limited amount of time that you can get them, yeah, I'm not too keen on that practice. I went ahead and ordered it already. I just finished my first week of work and decided to treat myself. So I'm looking forward to getting these in fall of next year. Why? I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs of toy design, but these are repaints of an existing figure that's already got 3 variants out there right now. Why do we have to wait over a year to get these? These should be out by fall of this year at the earliest, or like spring of next year at the latest. I don't get it, but I guess I can't complain too much. I ordered it. I'm looking forward to getting these. I really like the color scheme on them. It's nice to get Sunstorm, but yeah, it just kind of takes some issues with the practices involved. And here we have Energon Universe Shredhead, which I am so excited about. I wouldn't exactly consider myself the biggest Shredhead fan, and if you've read the latest issue of the Skybound comics, you'll know this is kind of an oddly timed release. But at the same time, I'm all for representing more modern Transformers characters, and this figure looks really nice. It's a brand new mold, which I'm kind of surprised about. I thought that they might use the Legacy Skids, or specifically the Cannonball variant of it, because that looked very similar to Shredhead, but no, this is a completely new mold. I am very excited about that. We actually have some prototype images of the figure. This robot mode, despite having an unpainted head, looks really good. I like the looks of the posability on it. It's got the shield and the really powerful sword. And then that alt mode, they went all out on all the paint that Carly put on this van in the comics. That looks really good. Got electricity running throughout. I'm a little iffy about the back of the vehicle mode. It just looks a little unfinished. Other than that, even got some nice painted details on the roof there, of course, because that forms the shield. Yeah, my only concern with all that paint they put on this figure, this is probably going to be a pretty overpriced Voyager. But again, I guess I can't say anything because the moment this is available, I am going to be pre-ordering it because I am very excited to be representing more from the Skybound comics and just the comics in general. I really hope that some of these reveals are a sign of things to come. We get more comic representation because the comics, specifically the IDW comics, have so many cool original designs that are just dying to get figure representation at a retail level. A lot of them had third-party figures, which is awesome, but those are very expensive and just don't really fit in with my type of collection because I primarily collect mainline stuff. And also, I'm excited about the idea of Studio Series including stuff from the TV shows. I think that kind of makes the name Studio Series pointless now because when I hear studio, I think of movie. But I'm glad to hear that they've been aware that people weren't too pleased with how they reinterpreted some of the designs from like animated and Prime, and that they said that Studio Series now is going to include characters from those shows that are just going to be direct recreations of those original designs. So that makes me very excited. They're going to do stuff from G1. I know they said this isn't the plan, but a part of me is worried they're going to be doing a lot of characters that we've gotten decent figures of already. But they make stuff from Prime and Animated. Like, they make the Constructicons from Animated. Just all the cool characters from that series that never got figures. That would be awesome. Make some updates for the Prime characters that didn't get the best figures. Yeah, I'm skeptical, but also very, very excited about the future of Studio Series. With all that being said, that pretty much covers my thoughts on the SDCC Transformers reveals. Most of it was stuff that's not really my thing, but there are a couple things here that get me excited about the future of Studio Series. And I'm curious to see where they go with Generations, with the whole idea of it being more geared towards making reinterpretations of stuff we've already gotten. I think that's going to be neat to see. So let me know what you think of the reveals down in the comments. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.